Hello there. Today I will be ranking all of our players from who I think is most likely to win, to least likely, in order of 1st through 5th. This will be based solely on how likely I think they are to win next week, as there is nothing long-term left in the game to ponder. This ranking is my personal opinion, so feel free to disagree with me, any discussion is great. This week, Danny was voted out, which is not too much of a surprise, as last week he was on the lower end of the tier list. Danny, with Deshawn, was on the bottom of the tribe and there wasn't much either of them could do unless someone decided they wanted to flip, which obviously did not happen. Overall, Danny was a more low-key player this season, but based on the way the jury reacted he was playing a great social game. If he had gotten to the end, I expect that he would have won because he was so likable, but unfortunately he has been on the back foot since Shan went home, being the 3rd member of his former alliance to go home in a row. In our 5th and worst position is Heather, which should be no surprise based on my rankings the whole season. Heather does have a good chance to make it to the end at this point, but this late into the game I can't put her any higher on the list because of her not being voted out. If she is sitting at Tribal Council, I expect Heather to receive no votes, as I don't think she has done enough in the game to warrant any. I don't see Heather winning any immunities in the finale to gain respect from the jury, and without many moves to her name she is looking to come in 3rd place. If she is somehow much more likable than we realize, she could have a chance for some votes, but that seems unlikely, so she ranks at the bottom. In our 4th position this week is Xander. Unfortunately for Xander, I don't see him beating the other 3 in a jury vote at the end. This is primarily because of the fact that he was not looked at as a threat after Ricard won immunity. Everyone knows that Xander has an idol in his pocket, so they know that if he were to survive this tribal council, then he will play his idol at Final 5, and have a confirmed chance of making it to the end through the Final 4 fire-making challenge. Because Xander wasn't even considered for the vote, it makes me think that the rest do not respect his game, and do not consider him a real threat if they were sitting next to him at the end. His game and his story leave me to believe that he still has a better shot than Heather, and if I am wrong then I could easily see him win at the end, but only time will tell for Xander. In the middle position for the finale is Deshawn. Deshawn has been a fairly chaotic player in recent weeks. The biggest examples of this are turning on Shan and dropping his truth bomb at Tribal Council against Erika. The reason why Deshawn is above Erika and Heather is because while he has betrayed people, I also think that he does have a lot of relationships with members of the jury. He knows the whole former Luvu tribe based on starting tribes, and he also was in an alliance with Shan and Liana. If Shan and Liana can respect his game, then I could see him having enough votes to win, but if not, then he probably does not win. Overall, Deshawn has decent potential to win or be a final tribal loser, and I doubt he goes home at Final 5. In 2nd place going into the last episode is Ricard. Ricard is someone who is currently playing the game on a knife's edge going into the end game. On one hand, I can see him being the most likely player to leave at 5, as they would all be crazy to let him go any farther, but fortunately for him he has shown he is very capable at winning these challenges. He will most likely need to win either 2 immunities or 1 immunity and fire if he wants to have any chance to make it to the end, which is doable, but is easier said than done. The biggest plus for Ricard is the fact that he was the one who engineered the blindside of the biggest player in the game, Shan, which means I could see the jury having a lot of respect for his game. On top of that, we know that the jury likes him, as they have mentioned him being likable before. Because of this, he is most likely to win but also most likely to go home before Final Tribal Council, which evens him out to 2nd most likely to win in my eyes. The 1st place position and most likely to win the season is Erika. Erika is someone who was not on my radar to win for the majority of the season, as evidenced by my past tier lists putting her consistently low. However, once Shan went home, Erika has really started to blossom in the game, while even doing well before that. Erika was the one to convince Shan and Ricard to vote out Naseer, saving her closest ally Heather in the process. She was also able to keep herself safe on the Shan blindside by coming up with the idea of splitting the votes on Liana and Shan, which was a great way to ensure she makes it farther in the game. The jury has constantly mentioned how threatening she is, and how smart she is in the game, which makes me believe that she will beat anyone besides Ricard in the end. Even though she is such a big jury threat, I still see her as likely to go to the end, as Ricard will be looked at before her. I am also not discounting the chance that she beats Ricard, but it does seem unlikely, But it is only a benefit for her that that is possible. Based on these factors, I think Erika does have the highest chance to win, but I am not extremely confident in anyone winning. In the finale it's anyone's game, so I am very interested to see how it will play out and who will emerge victorious. I had a great time making these videos this season, and I am glad to have some viewers and commenters on my videos. Thanks for watching. This has been Gold Card.